Hey folks, welcome back to BenOrBreak. I'm your host Ben, and we will pick up right where we left last episode. That's a lot of L's. Alright, hopefully with fewer tongue twists, we actually have to do a bit of recap, because we are about to investigate the paper mirror. This peculiar book we found in a peculiar place, Anissa's cabin. Let's have a quick read, it's not long. The hero was curious. It was not an uncommon affliction for people her age, but for Nalja 9 Lives, it was almost a sickness. It was the reason she stole into the witch's cabin, and the reason she was reading the book now. For what were books but another kind of door, and to open them was to open a world of possibilities. In Skyrim, Nalja 9 Lives had opened many doors like this one, and they all made the same promise. Behind it were tales of conspiracy, tragedy, valor, sacrifice, and sometimes even love. The more doors you opened, the further you descended, losing yourself in every chamber, every corner of every room. I don't think we've actually read that many books, but we're reading this one. But alas, behind this door she found neither knights, nor sorcery, nobles, nor thieves. There were no clashes between light and dark, sword and shield, earth and sky. All she found was an empty room, save for a single object placed in the center, a mirror. This is not to say it was an ordinary mirror. The surface was fluid, almost as if it were about to spill out of its thick brass frame. If it did move, it moved slowly, yet it could hardly be called calm. It was thick, cold, and most of all murky. Now, the wise adventurer might turn away from such an ominous thing, but the curious one can't resist taking a peek. As for what Nalja 9 Lives saw, suffice to say, she wasn't entirely sure. Yeah, that makes two of us. However, weeks later, long after she closed the door and continued on her adventures, Nalja 9 Lives couldn't help but feel a hint of recognition when she walked into the Wind Peak Inn and approached the stranger by the wall. "What are you looking at?" the man asked, bending his lips into a scowl. Nalja 9 Lives tried her best not to smile. Somehow she already knew the man's name, his occupation, and why he was standing there. In short, Nalja 9 Lives knew exactly what she was looking at. What she didn't know was how. "Your name's Theron, I take it," she said. "I'm here about the job." Now, this strange sense of familiarity has indeed struck us as we approached the Wind Peak Inn on other business. Let us see what we find. Hi, Carl.
Can't sleep well no matter how much drink I put in me.
Well, you're certainly trying. Let's get in the inn. Theron.
I'm just one of the miners. I don't want any trouble.
Yep, we're not going to make trouble with miners, don't worry.
They've got curved swords. Curved swords.
Man leaning against the wall. I guess that will be him. Well, Theron?
What are you looking at?
Name's Theron, I take it. I'm here about the job.
Oh yeah? You're a bit scrawnier than the way Argus described you. But I'll be your weakling's uncle the day he tells it true. I suppose the snowback didn't bother to tell you what the job's about, either. Don't worry, it ain't a long story. Follow me.
I swear the ore is getting harder to dig.
You're just getting older.
That's why I come here to talk to you. You're all heart.
Well, we're in uncharted territory now, if you weren't already. We only got to the beginning of the conversation in the book. Oh, the lights are out. That's better.
That's better. Gotta
Indeed.
love that fresh winter air. Now, about the job. I doubt Argus told you this, but I used to be a bandit. Had a crew that numbered 24 not a month ago. We were making good coin, raiding caravans and the occasional mine, until one of them decides he wants a bigger slice of the pie. My slice. Don't know how we convinced the others, but about 6 of them made rounds around the camp, cutting throats. All my men dead as dog meat. Wolves outside must have smelled it too, because they started howling. It was them beasts that gave me enough time to figure out what was going on and slip out the back way. Funny part is, I'd been nagging the boys to kill those things for weeks.
managed to escape with your life. Now you want to go on a suicide mission and take theirs?
Suicide mission. Argus told me you were good. The best.
I
But
am.
I suppose his word ain't worth the bucket I piss in. Don't worry, it ain't just us. I've got a couple more stops to make. You head on over to Redorian's retreat, but don't go in until I get there.
Well, we will be clearing out a bandit lair, I suppose. But of course, the real reason we would do this is because we are indeed curious, as the paper mirror said. Hopefully curiosity doesn't kill the 9 lives cat.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, we're gonna need a bed.
Take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over. Need a room? Don't worry. Nightmares don't seem to happen for travelers.
Okay, well, I would like a room indeed.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Ooh, someone's dancing.
To dig.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
Yeah, real quick.
Sorry. My mind was just somewhere else. Do you need a room? Drink?
No, I've got the room, thanks. I just... heading out in the morning and I'm looking for some work. Any leads?
Here. Take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left us bounty litter.
Tumbled Arch Pass. Unsigned. Okay, well. We'll try it. Well, appreciate it.
Until next time.
Don't suppose there's a door for this room. It appears not. No privacy indeed. Borgny, I just rented that bed. You had
Mining is an honest trade. No real tricks to it.
Oh, get out of here. Get out. Alright, well, just Skyrim things. we bought the bed and by the gods we're going to use it. Much better. Alright, unfortunately we'll be skipping town pretty long, before long, because we do have a bit of business that might require us to be absent.
What about this city speaks to you?
Excuse me?
I don't like taking orders from a boy.
Can I help you?
But I need the gold.
Interesting NPCs. They always give you so many different dialogue options, but how many of them are ever relevant? Okay, sure. We'll bite. Tell me about yourself.
The name's Jasper Gerston. I'm a writer. Aspiring writer. Always forget that word. Funny how large the chasm is between the two.
Do you train at the college, Bard's College? I've been there.
Alas, no. I've heard that a writer's words must sing from the page. The bard takes that interpretation literally. I tried it once, singing. The demand for bards is much higher than for writers, which is evident by the number of people in Skyrim who can read.
That's fair enough. I don't know if the trouble come with me and I will make you a man. What's that supposed to mean? Well, we could try a poet. You certainly have the angst.
Have you ever heard of the Bard's Leap? Better a corpse than a poet.
Have you written anything notable yet?
I've tried. In fact, when I was in solitude, I wrote maybe hundreds of tales, but none worth reading. I was still maturing then, looking for my voice. I would look back on something I penned a week before, shake my head at how shallow the words were, how empty they felt. I began to doubt if I could write anything of substance, and found my solace at the bottom of a flagon.
That's why you're here?
I spent my nights at the winking skeever, and my mornings outside his door. Even Octave's son found my behavior uncouth. One night, Corpulus got fed up, kicked me out into the streets, and told me to never come back. That's when I met my muse.
Let me guess, a beautiful damsel? There's no good
measure
dialect.
fits strips of muscle.
We know we're not talking about a
No.
person.
My muse was no beauty. It wasn't even a she. My muse was an orc.
Oh, okay, well, an orc's a person, I guess. Who was this orc?
He was a titan, with arms like tree trunks cut from the great forest. Only, something wasn't right about the way he looked at the tavern sign. When I asked him what was wrong, he managed to force out a word. His bottom lip quivered like a child who just dropped a sweet roll. The word he said was skeever. It was a giant, with shoulders larger than the domes of the Blue Palace. And he was absolutely terrified of rats.
What happened next, immersive NPCs?
That night,
Or interesting NPCs?
for the first time, I wrote with purpose. There was none of the doubt or fear that marred my previous work. The words came faster than I could jot them down. For 3 days and 3 nights I continued. When I was done, I knew the work was true. It was the best manuscript I had ever written. It was the best I could ever write.
Managed to publish it? How does the story end? Jasper, get to the point.
I tried. I bound the book and took it to a writer named Dodonato Liatelli.
You know the man?
I told him the author was anonymous. Said so right on the first page. I didn't want his opinion colored by my presence. I'm not sure it would have mattered. You know what he told me? He said the story read like it was written by a blacksmith. And that's when I knew I was still aspiring. And maybe always will be.
Successful people are often dismissive of unknown works.
And the delusional often exaggerate their own worth. I could be a genius ahead of his time. A writer without peer. I could be a failure who doesn't belong. Scribbling words that have no soul.
Both are
To
possible.
walk either path is to go down a lonely road. But that is Skyrim.
Have you written anything lately? And anything since then?
No,
Well, that's part of the problem.
not since Dodonato rejected my last work.
Right.
I'm trying a new style. This word's more pith. As if each sentence were its own story.
It's not style that you lack, it's experience like you had with your orc. Go out and see the world.
Traveling to Windhelm changed me in 2 ways. I now lack the funds to travel. More importantly, the Constitution.
Sorry to hear that. There's no what will you do now option, unfortunately.
Goodbye.
And we can't offer to help in any way, as we would sometimes do. Yeah, so I think it's nice that we're starting an interesting NPC's quest with the paper mirror. This is one of the few that I have played so far. I don't think that's a spoiler. because a lot of the times when I interact with an interesting NPC, it's not as interesting as I'd like. I'm not sure how I feel as about the mod as a whole, but I'm giving it a good try. Alright. Before we kill Bethesda, to hopefully avoid the wrath of the Dark Brotherhood, it feels like it's kill or be killed at this point. We do have one last lead to follow up on.
And here comes my first visitor. The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend.
Museum of the Mythic Dawn. Well, a courier gave me this invitation. It looks more like a house right now.
And here you are. Good.
Yes.
Come in, browse the display and let's talk. I have a job you look perfect for.
Now that sounds more like what I'm looking for.
Let's talk inside.
Need something?
Feel free to look around. Come talk to me when you're ready to discuss that job I mentioned.
There's not much to look at, Silas. Some
Those
robes like yours.
Were worn during the Ah, yes. That scabbard. Notice the insignia? An Oblivion Gate. A key symbol of Mehrunes Dagon, the patron Daedra of the Mythic Dawn. The commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes were written by the Mythic Dawn cult leader, Mankar Camoran. He promised a paradise awaited his followers when they died, that they would be reborn by Mehrunes Dagon's side.
No words on the painting? Okay.
That burned paper is all that remains of the fabled Mysterium Xarxes, the blasphemous book written by Mehrunes Dagon himself. It's said that Mankar Camoran used the book to open a portal to a paradise, where all his followers would live forever.
Well, I guess that didn't work out. I think I already delivered this line, so... or at least started.
Did you have any questions about the museum? Or would you rather talk business?
This seems more interesting to you than to me. I'm more interested in the job.
A little history first. After
Okay.
the Oblivion Crisis,
All the
a number of
exposition.
groups cropped up dedicated to wiping out the remnants of the Mythic Dawn. One of these groups found Mehrunes' Razor, the artifact of Dagon. They split it into 3 fragments
Hang on a minute.
and pledged to keep them apart forever. That was almost 150 years ago, and the pieces are still being kept by the descendants of that group, and they're right here, in Skyrim.
So you want me to get those fragments?
At least 2 of the owners, Gunzel and Draskua, are dangerous marauders, and the 3rd owner, Jorgen, I only know he lives in Morthal.
I'll do it, but let's talk about pay.
Here are my notes about them. I'll gladly pay you for getting the pieces any way you can.
This is our specialty.
No questions asked.
No questions asked indeed. I like the sound of that.
Good luck finding the fragments.
Well, I believe we have already found one. The shards of the blade itself. This was in Cracked Tusk Keep in Felcraith. He didn't give us a book by any chance, did he? I didn't quite see. No.
What is it? Do you have one of the Razor fragments?
Well, I want to know more about it first.
The Razor is Mehrunes Dagon's personal artifact. It has always heralded bloody change and carnage. It's held many names. Dagger of the Final Wounds, Bane of the Righteous, the Kingslayer. The Mythic Dawn worshipped Dagon as a god. Having his razor would be invaluable to my collection.
I quite see that. Well, you will be happy to know that I have already come across the blade shards.
Look at them. The legendary sharpness of a Daedric weapon.
He pays well.
Marvelous. And here's your payment for the shards. We just need the hilt and the pommel now.
Appreciate it.
I'll just be tending the museum if you need me.
Well, this is getting interesting. We have a lead in Morthal. And I'm not sure how we're supposed to know about Draskua. Kunsul must have been the orc we already got it from. Krakta's keep was manned by orcs. Jorgen in Morthal. Doesn't ring a bell. Okay, well, it rings a bell for me, the player. I've done this quest before, but not Nalja. Okay. Perhaps now on to our final piece of business. Why do we have so many? Oh, right. Oh, another courier.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver.
Well, this has been a lot of exposition so far, folks. I didn't know the episode would be this slow starting. Hope that's all right. Started the rise of dawn. Read the courier's letter. Well, there's no letter called the courier's letter, so which one are we looking at? Letter from the Vicar of Kilcreath Temple, perhaps? Kilcreath Temple? Oh, well, we were there 2 episodes ago. To the wielder of Dawnbreaker. Having seen the beacon of our Lord Meridia illuminate her majestic image high on Mount Kilcreath, I knew at last that the time had come for our return, and that the dark influence of Malkaran had finally been purged from Kilcreath Temple. Our return to the temple has been long awaited, and I've learned that it is you, the wielder of Dawnbreaker, who has made this possible. You have performed a great and noble deed in the service of Meridia, and have cleansed the halls of Kilcreath Temple of Malkaran's corruption. Yet in doing so I fear an ancient darkness, even worse than Malkaran, has been roused. It is with heavy heart that I must inform you that despite your efforts, a shadow still lies over Kilcreath Temple. I urge you to return to the temple as soon as you are able. I'll provide you with more details in person. Anxiously awaiting your arrival, Varys Aronson, Vicar of Kilcreath Temple. Drive out 1 demon, it's not long before there's another, it seems. That will have to wait a little bit. Unfortunately. This is mod edited content, I'm 90% sure. I don't know which one it would be.
Never. Not until we turn this mine around, drive Baytild out of business, and force her to apologize to me for everything she's done.
What is this feud?
What is it? I
wife?
haven't had much
What
sleep.
started this? You don't want to talk about it, or you don't know?
Now, if you'll excuse, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I'm sorry if you don't, but you mentioned a name I'm interested in.
Quicksilver Mine is the best mine in Dawnstar, and you can tell those Ironbreaker miners I said so.
Ironbreaker miners, eh? Who runs Dawnstar? Fortunately, we don't have a good dialogue option here, but...
That would be Scald the Elder. He's been running Dawnstar ever since he was a boy, and he never lost that brat's attitude. Turned on the Empire first chance he got. Now we're all part of this rebellion.
Baytild? Ironbreaker mine, eh? Okay. Well, I don't think we're looking for mine work, so we won't take that option.
Until next time.
Ironbreaker mine. On the other side of town, he said? I believe we saw a mine entrance up there. I'm going to pick up this side quest while we're here.
Everyone thinks I'm too young to be a ship's captain, but I'm going to prove them wrong.
You're the ship's captain, like you just said?
By inheritance, as my men are fond of saying. Can't blame them. My mother ran the Sea Squall as strictly as she ran the house. I've been trying to find new areas of business, trying to win the sailors' respect, but I keep having problems. Take the last trade we did. Some fine cut void salts from the College of Winterhold. Plenty of coin if you know who to sell it to.
What happened to the salts? Let me guess, they didn't get where they needed to.
Sailors are what happened to them. They got drunk and ended up losing the merchandise in some cave. If you're not afraid of a little exploring, I'll pay good gold to get those salts.
That doesn't sound like your problem. I mean, your fault. It's your problem now, but, Shrouded Grove. I don't know where that is offhand. I should look at Tumble Arch Pass while we're here, too. Shrouded Grove? Okay, I know the area. and Tumble Arch Pass. Okay. At least those are close together. For now, we'll be accomplishing our contract here and then probably skipping town. We can just take care of our unfortunate Fred and Arfie as the third contract. Then when we return to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary, we'll hopefully be in the clear with them. Bayteld. That's a Bayteld. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can gather any useful information.
I'm really not in the mood. State your business or take your leave.
Never mind.
I've a mind to run, so if you'll excuse me.
And where does she sleep? Because we're certainly not committing a murder out here. Okay. That'll be the Jarl's Hall. Barracks. It's possible she sleeps at the inn. Let's try to figure this out before we wait for nightfall. Gear's house. Rena's house. Morden Pestle. We do have some potions to sell. We could stop in there. Tild's house. Noted. Okay, we have our target. We have our contract.
The Mortar and Pestle makes potions, if you can't tell from the name. No, I don't have anything for bad dreams, so don't ask.
Oh, well, I've got just a few things to sell, if that's all right.
So you're interested in my potions and ingredients?
Quite so. I didn't have the heart to sell Ingen's potions right in front of her in Ilgrim's shop. So we're just going to have to sell these now. Like Fortify Conjuration, Feather. We're not using any of those. Potion of Speed we might keep. I forget exactly where this dialogue option leads.
My husband. We used to go out into the wilds and collect ingredients together. He used to call me his pretty juniper. It's quite romantic, if you're an alchemist.
I love it.
Frost took the old fool a few seasons back while he was looking for the ring of pure mixtures. I found the ring's resting place after he died, but I'm far too old to go exploring some cave now.
So, but that's a cute story. I could find that ring for you.
Well, aren't you sweet? I'd be happy to give you some alchemy training in exchange for the ring if you bring it to me.
I'm aspiring. Forsaken Cave. We actually know the place.
Bring it here.
Quite so. Alright. I think that concludes the last of our business aside from Baytild. So we will sleep until dark. We know where she lives. That wasn't her, was it? Well, we might have an opportunity now. Looked like she'd be working at the smelter for a while, but evidently not. Looks like it's lunch break time. Could be opportune. I almost think if we can catch her alone at home. Oops, some missing assets there. Just kind of floating in the harbor. Oh well. I think I actually know what mod it might be. Okay, she eats lunch outside. Good to know. Yeah, I can make sure we're meeting all the prerequisites for that, but that appears pretty broken right now. Alright, well, we're not going to do that when we open with the boatman here and such. We will wait till nightfall. It would have been nice to do it during the day when there's no one, you know, in the neighboring houses sleeping, ready to be woken up. I figure she'll live mostly around other mine workers. That's what the town is here for. And the mine workers seem to be working mine still. If she's just going to eat outside, we'll just have to wait until she goes inside to sleep. Got this fermented already. Should be just moments.
Let me know if you want.
We can do just before midnight. We'll want, oh wow. Looks like we had company overnight. For a town in which no one seems able to sleep, there sure are a lot of customers at the inn.
runs the inn. Speak to him.
Excuse me. I mean, I guess if you can't sleep, might as well go drink, right? Deeply foggy night. Perfect. Hoping Baytild isn't at the inn. I didn't check thoroughly.
Damn faithless Imperials.
We'll do this quick and merciful. Sounds like a pretty miserable person. Whoa!
Come here.
Who are you? I might have... What the? I'm... hopefully it's not too cheesy for me to reload this, folks, but, I was expecting her to be alone. I thought she was alone. Okay. It's almost making me wish we had the look-through keyholes mod. It seemed a little script-heavy for what I needed it to do. That kind of mod has the potential to break things because it has to load in a whole other world space. Not world space, but cell. That's the word. Beautiful night. Let's make a proper save this time.
Yes?
Well, so much for stealth. Who are you?
Yeah? Yes?
Oh, we don't want to see shower faces, no. Alas, I don't know if that there's anything for it. Do we really have to do this murder with two people here?
Never should have come.
You won't leave here alive.
Just Skyrim things. I'm sorry, but, man, they really got stuck. That felt terrible. Venison vegetable stew. Well, it's good food. Not gonna let that get cold. Gosh. This feels reprehensible. I guess sometimes it's kill or be killed. There we go. Looks like the night has gotten a bit brighter. We need to be moving now. As long as no one heard anything but saw us enter or exit, we should be fine. I have reasonable hopes in that regard. Rita, out for a late night walk? Huh. Alright. We need to get out of here.
Where do you want to go?
Iverstead's up next, actually. It'll be in the rift.
Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way?
Iverstead, please.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Thank you to our carriage and fast travel overhaul for giving us options to go to more places than just the main hold capitals. And for putting carts in more than just the big 5 cities. This Dawnstar cart is mod added. To be precise, it's actually in the game files, but was never properly implemented for, you know, Dawnstar, Falkreath, Morthal, and Winterhold. Okay. Nighttime is still a fine time to do what we need to do. Unfortunately, we already know who our target is. I say unfortunately because he's a harmless guy. I hope he's doing okay. Narfi, it's late. Why are you still up?
Who are you? What do you want?
Narfi, you don't recognize me?
Do you want something? Look, if you ain't gonna talk, or spare no coin, just go away!
Unfortunately, we don't get any unique dialogue for having helped him previously, but he seems to be still... If you talk to him without this quest active, he's still stuck on his sister being dead, even though we told him about it. He's still living in miserable conditions without a roof over his head, staying up late into the night. This might be mercy. Sorry, Narvis. Sit this be with you. When we move the body, we really shouldn't leave it out in the open like this. That might be stuck against a rock. In vanilla, it's pretty easy to move, but I think our realistic Ragdolls and Force mod makes it a little bit harder to move the body. We don't want to get stuck on a rock. Oh, come on. Just behind the rock would be enough for now. Alas, this is so sad. Unfortunately, janky Skyrim physics are making that less good than it should be. So that'll have to do for now. Right. Hopefully Frost is not far. Frost? You came on the horse with us, right? Or, well, follow the carriage, right? Oh, there you are. Okay, good boy, good boy. No, it's okay. We gotta be a little quiet, all right? Excellent. Well, I shouldn't say excellent. Good enough. We did what we came to do. Next up, finally reunite Barbas with his miserable master and maybe get a favor out of the bargain. And then reporting back to Nazir. Unfortunately, harvestable ingredients don't really play well with lighting. You can see how bright those hives are, beehives. Flowers can be the same way. Right, Haymar's fame is on the... Oh. Are they hostile? I think that was a hostile wolf. It's possible that it's dark enough that we weren't noticed, but I kind of doubt it. Animal AI can be pretty dumb. Oh, skipped a couple frames there. Just for the sake of stability, let's make sure we've saved. We passed a bear. Right, Frost. Good job. Looks like we got him. Man, unfortunately, Skyrim AI doesn't handle mounted combat too well. They usually try to target you rather than the horse, which doesn't tend to work unless you're using missile weapons or AoE weapons. Animals have trouble. Oh, that's a goat! What have you done, you monsters? Poor goat. I like those. That light looks like someone else is using the pass this late at night. Interesting. Could be patrol. Who are these folks?
Oh, did you need something?
No.
It's not the wilds of Skyrim that I fear. It's what dwells within.
What do you mean, Mr. Adventurer Leader?
What do you need?
What can I do for
Is this the same adventuring party we met ages ago?
It's not the wilds of Skyrim
Maybe.
that I fear. It's what dwells within.
Regardless, it looks like they're fellow adventurers, but they don't have a quest for us right now. And the fog is closing in, so we should try to reach Hammer's Shame before the weather gets too bad.
I'm on my way to Windhelm to join up with the Stormcloaks.
You're headed the wrong way.
Has the right of it.
You want to head east and then north. You're heading west right now. Yes, this is like pea soup. Looks like we made it alright though. Now, if I remember, there is a back entrance that we could, but I don't think it's accessible from the outside. Right, Frost, you know the drill. Stay here, be a good boy, and stay nice and quiet. Back out soon. We'll just have to make sure this place hasn't been reoccupied since we left it last. There's lights on. Definitely hear someone. Vampires again. Sorry, my friend, but you're, probably someone we shouldn't leave alive. A bit annoying that this, the dungeon has reset since, well, we started this quest, but long. Okay, trap. Noted. Well, those are some real physics there. Unfortunately, Skyrim physics are often more broken on modern gaming systems than in those of the past. My rig's not quite current gen, but it's definitely good enough to run Skyrim, but it tends to result in some pretty overactive physics simulation. I hope this isn't just sneak and slash the whole time. Saw someone up here. There they are. Yeah, they've been eating people, doing vampire things. Ancient vampire, eh? Some bloody bones. That was a filled soul gem, which good for an enchanting, but a little bit grim. I guess it's just a petty. It's not like there's a person's hole in there. And saved in a bit. Alright, person to our left. Someone down here. Indeed. These creatures of the night have not exactly heard us coming. As a nightingale, maybe we're a bit of a creature of the night ourselves. Is that the way forward? So there's also a door at the opposite end of this chamber, so I guess we'll check that first. Was a guard of some kind. Don't think it was the person we just killed. Yep, there he is. Stick to the shadows, stay still. Maybe toss out a little bit of magic. There we go. Whoa! Okay, you just bumped into us. Just Skyrim things, I guess. Into the dark with you. Okay, is this just a side room then? Yes, it appears so. Just a vampire's bedroom. Loot in here, though. Let's see what we've got. Let's see, right about in here. Perfect. We will take all but the steel boots. Those are just a bit too heavy to be useful to us. And yes, I feel a little bit okay with jumping and dropping around like that because our armor does grant us no fall damage. Makes sense in game world for us to be taking some leaps like that. What is that, a spider I hear? Always spiders. Hopefully that's the only one. And this, well, we don't know the enchantment on this, so we could just take it. The vile truth of Barbas? Wait, what? Barbas is our friend. From the notes of Pelagius Habor, council daedrologist in residence, Imperial City. Hopefully this isn't a long one. No. Okay, so we will read it. I've come to believe that Clavicus Vile is unique, in that he exists in two persons. This is, of course, the subject of vigorous debate in daedrological circles. Many of my confederates would argue that Barbas is merely a greater Daedric servant, no more linked to Vile than a horse is linked to its rider. But I urge you to consider the evidence. The first and most obvious proof of their consubstantiality is found in art. Crude, hand-carved idols dating back to the early Merethic era depict the masked figure of Clavicus Vile standing beside a large hound, as do ancient cave paintings. I've explored the width and breadth of Tamriel in search of Daedric oddities, and in my travels I've never found any depiction of Vile that does not include Barbas at his side. I've also read hundreds of first-hand accounts detailing encounters with the prince. Each of these accounts, without exception, features Barbas in some capacity. If we accept the premise that Clavicus Vile and Barbas are, at least in some sense, the same person, the natural question is why? Why would an entity possessing godlike power allow itself to be bifurcated? I have a number of hypotheses, but my best guess is simply this: companionship. The, quote, life of a prince is one of near total isolation. Some princes like Hermaeus Mora and Nocturnal appear to revel in this solitude, but everything we know of Clavicus Vile indicates that he is a profoundly social being. His love of bartering, his willingness to bestow wishes upon those that engage with him, his bewitching mask, each of these things point to a being that thrives on interaction, conversation, and play. A being so inclined would likely go mad without some companion to speak to argue with, and to complain about. Okay, well, we're familiar with that complaining about bit. One might even view it as a marriage of sorts, albeit an inverted one. Rather than two becoming one, as in the Pledge of Mara, one has become two, a paradoxical reversal of the Adric ritual. But why a dog, you ask? I've puzzled over this for years. Again, I can offer little more than supposition. My best guess is that it has to do with power rolls. If Clavicus Vile sheared off a larger share of his animus to create an equal, the two would plot and scheme against each other constantly. Creating a canine counterpart, Vile ensures his position as a master. Dogs are ancient symbols of loyalty and submission. They are servants and never masters. So it is with Barbas. I don't recall coming across this book previously, but that's interesting. Bit of exposition as to what we're dealing with before we find it out ourselves, but that's fine. And I hear our doggy friend right now. Let's quickly utilize this enchanter to get rid of this dang heavy battle axe that's not going to sell for a ton. Because knowing the enchantment is more valuable than the axe itself. It may be all we want to disenchant. It appears so. I think we're close to the final chamber. Barbas is Clavicus Vile, says the book, eh? Well, that would explain some of the inconsistencies talking with the two. And the reason why that there's a talking dog interested in Clavicus in the first place. Uh-oh. Barbas, watch out. Ooh, that hurt. Oh, that's the Master Vampire. Okay. Looks like we got him iced. Oops. Got him, Barbas? Or her? Oh, just a thrall.
Free again.
Free again. Oh no, there's another one? Oh, what a beast, Barbas. Whoa, we're winded. You alright? Alright, follow me.
Lead the way.
Oh, pardon me, Barbas. Gotta loot before we move on. Wouldn't be a true thief of the guild without doing that. Good job on these ones. Once again, I would not exactly expect a normal dog to stand up to a pack of vampires, so perhaps the document that we found is a bit illuminating. Well, your vileness.
Ah, you've got the axe! And my dog! Splendid!
We're back. Now to fulfill your end of the bargain.
Excellent work! A hero and his faithful companion retrieving the ancient artifact for the prince. It's almost storybook.
Quite so.
Ah, but it almost seems a shame to give a weapon like that away, doesn't it? I suppose I could be persuaded to let you keep it. But only if you use the axe to kill Barbas. Simple as that.
No deal. This isn't an artifact that interests us. Now that mask. Let's see if we can maneuver to a better bargaining position.
Huh. You're no fun at all. Guess I'll have to make my own fun elsewhere.
That's what your dog's for.
Pup back, I'll be restored to my full power. There's a whole world just waiting for me. I knew I could trust you. Yeah, dog gets master, master gets cosmic axe. Everyone's happy. Just get over here, mutt. Don't worry, I'll make sure he sees the light. I trusted you, now you trust me.
Okay, Barbas.
Ah, that feels so much better. You forget how nice supreme power feels until you've been stuck in a cave for a few years. It's a shame you wished for something so dull as me taking back the mutt. Quite the lack of imagination on your part. A lack of ambition like that really ought to be punished. Perhaps by turning you into a worm, or maybe a few decades of... Oh, fine. Have my boon and be done with it. Got more interesting deals to make anyway.
Oh, we get to choose. I believe this is mod added. I think light armor is fine. Looks like we were indeed able to maneuver him to a better bargaining position. Blessing of Glaucus Vile, eh? And Sanguinary Vampiris. We will need to get rid of that since shrines don't cure diseases with our mods. Where's the blessing? There it is. Increases speech skill by 10 points. Cool. Well, this is what our potion of cure diseases are for. I'm not quite ready to become a vampire for sure. No, well, the vampires were kind enough to refill the loot chest. Glass boots of rollback with weapons or spells drawn. Jump to return to your location 4 seconds earlier. Interesting. Some paintings. Who have we got here? Looks like Vile and Barbas. Vile looking a bit young. Did I miss the pull chain? I did. All right. Good to get that out of our quest log, folks. And this mask could come in handy. Let's take a look at it. I see it's also morning. Fortify speech 10 and Magicka 50. Bribes cost 10% as much. That's not, if I'm reading it correctly, not 10% less, but 10% as much. So 90% less. Let's see why it's so valuable. Fortify speech 10. So normally when I'm selling stuff, I'm wearing Linway's hood. Use speech 5% more effectively. Okay, so the mask's an upgrade. Love to see it. Hey, no fall damage, no worries. And our loyal steed awaits. All right, buddy. Just got a couple things for you, if that's all right. Since you're such a good boy. Sure, we can put those back too. Not gonna need all this gold. Much better. Probably not gonna need all of these either. Alright, Frost, it's a beautiful morning. Let's head out. Still gotta get to Felcreath. Unfortunately, we don't really have any side quests that demand our attention on the way. We've been through this area pretty recently. But there's not really a cart nearby that'll take us to Felcreath faster, and we're not doing fast travel, so this will just be a couple minutes of a beautiful little ride through the wonderful world of Skyrim. Not something I mind personally. Hope you all are down for it too. Perhaps I shouldn't have put all the stuff back on Frost. We can stop at the Stormcloak camp down the pass and barter away some weapons. Or just wait till we're in Falkreath. That should be fine too. I don't think we're looking to buy anything. So we heard some mention of trouble at Helgen. I suppose now that we're on the road there, we can see what that was all about. Out of character, thanks for alternate start, live another life, for giving us an alternate start besides the carriage opening. It's a reasonable opening for an introduction for the video game, but after you've done it a couple times, it's kind of nice to begin the game without the urgency of a dragon apocalypse. So we've begun as a thief. Helgen looks fine from outside. Cancel that. Yeah, that's an impaled corpse. Happened here. Oh, I didn't know we could even try to open the door while on a horse. I just kind of clicked. There's a fire. These are the bandits. Someone put those corpses outside the gate. Whoa, whoa, we're getting stagger locked. One of them is a mage. Alright, Frost, move quick. Oh, there we go. Not sure what was wrong there. Okay, looks like we got a good knockdown. Oh, Frost, are you alright? Looks alright. I believe we took some hits there too. Alright, I'm going to trust that Convenient Horse's auto loot feature did all the looting we need. So possibly a bandit raid happened here. It's not typical for them to take out a whole town though. Up and over. There's another bandit. Oh, blast. Frost, you can't fit through there? Okay. We will go around. Not sure if the game will let us through here. It does. Okay. Not sure if there's even a western gate. Looks like there is. Oh, I did just hear someone. Yep, there they are. What is that? Headman's block?
No sign of him.
Someone's still alive. Alright, Frost. You're not going to kill all the bandits. Why kill any? Nasty British in short. This is an Imperial held hold, right? Yeah, looks like it. Tower's wrecked. Wouldn't expect a bandit to do that. Are there siege weapons involved?
Now you're mine.
Nope. Quite the opposite. Oh, you're not dead. Let's try this again. Double kill move. Why have one kill move when you could have two? Mace of Carnage. Deals 8 magic damage, multiplied by 5 on the next hit after this kills a target. Oh, that's interesting. No good in single target boss fights, though. Those can be the most worrisome fights. Giants, dragons, dragon priests. Not that we've met or seen a dragon ever. Have we, Frost? No, indeed. Dragons are just a myth. Was that an elk? Some kind of light over there. Who is this? Perhaps just a hunter. My friend, it's a cold day.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
They are interesting. Usually the hunters aren't named. Guess that one is. Settle down near a beehive. Oh, there's a ton of them. And they have collision, apparently. The way the Frost was riding up on them. Oops. I didn't know that.
What's a milk drinker like you doing out here? Go home to your mother.
Pardon? You shouldn't talk to me like that, my friend.
Why? What are you gonna do? Cry?
Look, back off.
I don't have to take that from you.
There's a bear over there. Not worry about that at all? And you're mighty brave versus a person on horseback.
It's nothing. I fought worse than you.
Well, they're both kind of stumbling around. Doesn't look like it, my friend. What needless violence. Had some silver ore, I guess. Oh, Pine Watch. Let's see if the trap here is manned. Appears not. Good. That problem, at least, has not come back since the last time we've been through here. Right, onward to Falkreath. And to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. With blood on our hands. It's possible the killings that were required of us were mercies to their victims, but thing nonetheless. Don't believe we have any business in town itself. We could sell a few things, but what's this? What's up, my friend?
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. It's from Falk Firebeard at the Blue Palace. Ooh, you've got friends in high places. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Falk. After we resolved the business with the Wolf Queen? What does this mean? Nalja 9 Lives, over the last few days we've had some disturbing information come to light regarding the events at Wolf Skull Cave and the summoning and binding ritual you interrupted there. Given your involvement with that event, I'm asking you to return to Solitude to help us once more. I'm wary of putting all the details in print. Please come see me at the Blue Palace. Sincerely, Falk Firebeard. Let me guess, the Wolf Queen's not dead. We did see her spirit flee the cave when we interrupted the ritual. I thought that meant that the ritual had failed. But it's possible it has only succeeded halfway. Let's visit Miko, if he's still here. There he is. Hey, buddy. You taking good care of him, lad?
Good to see you.
Good. Alright, well, we don't have anything to buy or sell right now. I mean, I guess we could, but not really necessary at the moment. Oh, Frost is a little hurt. Unfortunately, we don't know Healing Hands or Heal Other or whatever it's called in this game. I think it's Heal Other. I believe that's just archery practice at the targets outside town, but could be wrong. Alright, well I guess we could just put our assassin-looking garb back on. I'm never quite sure which turn it is to get to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. There's the Shadow Mirror. We came on a different side than I usually do. The door's over here. Oops. Looks like we did miss our turn. Okay. Try to pay more attention on their way back out. What? No. What is the music of life? Silence, my brother? Guess the door knows us. Not sure how I feel about that. Pretty quiet up here.
But the Night Mother is mother to all.
Oh no.
It is her voice we follow, her will. Would you dare risk disobedience? And surely punishment?
Keep talking, little man.
Yeah, I said quiet and I spoke too soon.
Oh, be quiet, you great lumbering lapdog. The man has had a long journey. You can at least be civil. Mr. Cicero.
Why do we have dialogue, subtitles on?
Delighted you and the Night Mother.
We do have that setting disabled.
Your presence here signals a welcome return to tradition.
Oh, what a kind and wise wizard you are. Sure to earn Our Lady's favor.
You and the Night Mother are of course welcome here, Cicero. And you will be afforded the respect deserving of your position as keeper. Understood, husband?
Her.
Oh, yes, yes,
Madam.
yes.
No words at all.
Thank you.
But make no mistake. I am the leader of this sanctuary. My word is law. Are we clear on that point?
Oh, yes, mistress. Perfectly. You're the boss.
Ah, there you are. Good. I was done speaking with that muttering fool anyway. We've got some business to discuss.
Contract?
I do indeed. You must go to the city of Markarth and speak with the apothecary's assistant. You'll probably find her in the Hag's Cure when the shop is open. The girl's been running her mouth. Wants an ex-lover killed. She's apparently performed the Black Sacrament. Her name is Muiri. I need you to talk to her, set up the contract, and carry it out.
Hag's Cure I know. Murray, I don't think I do. Alright, is there anything else?
Just do whatever the contact wishes. Be professional, represent us well, and get the job done. Since it's your first contract, I'll let you keep whatever Muiri pays. She'll be generous, I'm sure. They always are.
Oh, Yes, mistress. You're the boss. For now.
Dun dun dun. Does Armyorn actually sell weapons and armor? I mean, he has a forge.
Let me guess. Astrid failed to mention I'm her husband? She has a tendency to do that. Doesn't want the others thinking she plays favorites.
Does she? There's not an option for that. Do you have any advice on my current contract?
Yeah, follow my wife's orders, and don't do anything stupid.
Great, don't do anything stupid.
Take care of yourself.
I'm glad I had you to tell me that. I might have done something stupid otherwise. Alright, we do have to talk to Nazir. Oh, pardon me, Festus. Well, Nazir.
Sister.
Nodius Papias is dead.
Good. And I hope you were careful in that lumber mill. Those splinters and rusty nails can be quite nasty. Your payment for a job well done.
Thankfully, we didn't have to enter the mill. As is Bethilde.
Of course she is. I hear the mining business is extremely cutthroat. And those hours, the murder. I could do this all day.
Funny man, Nazir. And for better or worse, Narvi is dead.
Congratulations. You slaughtered an emaciated beggar in cold blood. You are truly an opponent to be feared. Here's your payment.
It was the mercy of Sithis, Nazir. You don't have to give me that. Any more contracts?
I'm sorry, I don't. Come see me again later.
Alright. And, let me guess, is this because I already have one? Any advice on it?
The contracts I dole out are fairly simple. Go to a location and kill the target. But this is different. The jobs Astrid gives you will be more important and usually more complex. Just keep your wits about you. And for Sithis' sake, don't get killed.
Oh no. Well, glad I had you to tell me that, Nazir, or else I might have gotten myself killed and not thought about it. Oh wow. No, okay. Telling me that Astrid contracts matter. I might have been able to figure that out on my own, but it's valid advice. Did you happen to hear any of that conversation out front?
I don't like mimes, minstrels, thespians, acrobats, jugglers, troubadours, or tumblers. Flutists give me a headache. I particularly hate jesters. As a rule, I'm also not crazy about the corpses of old women. For the Night Mother, I'll make an exception. But Astrid is the only mistress I serve.
Don't like jesters, eh? With all the jokes you crack, you better be careful, might become one.
You've got people to kill, my friend. Best get to it.
Quite so. All right, folks. Looking at the time, and I think this will be a good place to leave this episode. We may be heading straight to Markarth to follow up on that, and we have a string of things we could do along the way, perhaps. But I will leave that for next time when we will do that. I'd also do kind of want to continue the Companion's quest line a bit. We could even visit Witch Mist Grove and retrieve that ring for Isolde. We'll see. So, keep an eye on the page. We'll get to next time when we get to next time, and I'll have some fun stuff for us to do for sure, as always in this wonderful game. So this is where we'll leave it for today, though. Thanks y'all for watching. This is a nice little waterfall. I don't know why it's glowing, but cool. Hope to see y'all next time, and goodbye until then.